um, go with the actual observation, actual figure of mean, I mean. This is 91 minus 86.6. Can you tell me what is this particular thing? X1 minus X bar, 95 minus 86.6. Can you tell me what is this? So it's 8.4. You're saying what is this? 60 minus 86.6. 60 minus 86. Oh, it's 26.6, but minus. What is 92 minus 86.6? 5.4. Okay. And 91 minus 86.4? 4.4. Now, there's one more concept. You can at least find out the summation. See, now this is, we just try to understand that how each and every person has secured more or less marks than the average. So the first person, let's say Anisha, Anisha has secured 8.4 more marks than the average. Suresh has secured 26.6 marks less than the average. This is what the interpretation. Tammy has secured 5.4 marks more than the average. Siddharth has secured 8.4 marks more than the average. The mark secured by Suresh, it's like very important here because that's the only negative value. So we can say that he has secured 26.6 marks less than the average or below the average. Now, I just want to know the average deviation. This is called mean deviation. This is called mean deviation. I just want to find out the average. But if I find out the average, try to find out the average and tell me what is average deviation. What is the average deviation here? So here I try to capture that how each and every individuals have secured more or less marks than the average. This is what I tried. How each and every individuals have secured more or less marks than the average. This is what I tried to map. This is what I tried to map. Now I need one figure, which is a generalized figure. Now find out the average. Add all this and find out and divide it by total number, that is 5, and tell me. 8.4 minus 26.6 plus 5.5, 88.4 plus 4.5 divided by 5. Tell me, what is the figure? 0. Why? Why? Now 0 tells me that deviation from mean is 0. That means when I try to map that how Anisha has secured more marks than the average marks, how Suresh has secured how many less marks than the average, in what way Pammi has secured, or let's say how many marks Pammi has secured more than the average, but above than the average, or Sai Hemanta above the average, but ultimately the result is 0. Why? Because of this negative value. Negative value won't allow us to, so negative value this way can be hurdles to summarize it. If you want to summarize the mean deviation, then let's say if you want to draw any generalization based on the mean deviation, negative value will create hurdle for you, lots of hurdles for you, and you won't get the exact variability. You won't get the average variability. What to do now? That's why scientists, to nullify the effect, they have tried to find out the square of it. Now you just try to find out the square of this. Try to find out the square of this and tell me the figure. Try to find out the square of all this and tell me. This is a mean deviation. Mean deviation. How each and every individuals have secured more or less marks than the mean. ये चीज mean deviation बताएगा. Now the first one is 70.56. Is this 707.56? Now this is 29.16. ये क्या आएगा? 70.56. And the last one is 19.36. But this is what? This is basically xi minus x bar the square. It's okay. Let's find out the sum. Let's find out the sum. That means we are trying to find out I running from person number 1 to person number 5, and we are going to find out summation of this quantity, summation of this particular quantity. What is it? 70 plus 56 plus 707.56. Tell me the summation. The summation is 897.2. Now let's divide it by number of person, that is 5. What is this quantity? $179.44. But our marks range is 0 to 100. If we talk about the range of the marks, the highest marks can be scored as 100 and the lowest possible marks is 0. But this is a square quantity. This is, we just try to understand that how individuals, each and every individuals try to score, how each and every individual score is far from the average. In order to map that quantity, we just find out the square of it. It's like very simple. When you deal with this -2 number, okay, what you can do, find out the square of it. That means it'll become 4. Again, you want back this particular 2 figure. Okay, put a square root. This way -2 to 2 can be converted. Let's put this is variance. This is called variance. This is variance. Now standard deviation is nothing but under root of variance. Variance is a square distance from mean. Variance is nothing but the square distance from mean. So this is a deviation. 30.39 marks ka deviation is there. So when you discuss this story that the average performance of this 5 student is 86.6 marks, please mention that the deviation is of 13.39. So the average deviation from mean is 13.39 marks, which is equals to 13 marks. Okay. The average performance, you can say approximately 87 marks. Arindam, there is a concept in mathematics. Let's say I have 10 rupees. Okay. And Arindam, you're having 12 rupees. Okay. Let's find out the difference between the money we are having. If I put the figure of money that I am having first, and then if I, let's say, put the figure that money you are having. If you are having more money than me, the figure will be negative. But -2 rupee, it's not an interpretation. In many times, in real world, let's say the minus negative signs do not mean anything. So how to reduce